So we have discussed before in the past and will continue to discuss again because this is really relative and important to understand what is going on today and the unfortunate news that a very well-known company, we'll get into them in a moment, is leaving Rotherham because of Brexit, and we'll get into that in a second as well, and about 200 jobs are going to be lost from that town. And I can't be happy about it because these are 200 people who are going to lose their jobs. And for them, it's not going to be very good. And I've said multiple times before, I think after this pandemic is over, I don't think there are any good times ahead for the UK, unfortunately. But to the point of why is this happening? Well, predominantly, this is happening because, first of all, there are two big ideas at war in the Conservative Party. The Global Britain project, which is basically Brexit in a nutshell. The whole idea of we can go and do these quote-unquote fantastic trade deals, although, again, we are yet to see any of these quote-unquote fantastic trade deals and how they will benefit the UK. And that we can go buccaneering around the world, that we can go massive deregulation, and that we can get rid of all these messy things like, workers' rights, and the fact that, our productivity is really low, not because of horrible working practices imposed by terrible bosses or zero-hour contracts or anything like that. No, according to many of the leading Brexiteers, it is because UK workers are protected by workers' rights. That is why they are so lazy. And it's just like, what? And that was, of course, comes from the infamous opening of Britannia Unchained. So that's Global Britain. The other big idea in the party, which is being championed by especially the Northern Research Group, is the idea of levelling up. And of course, Boris Johnson, at the last election, has since sold this whole idea of, we're going to level up the North. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. But the whole thing is, with levelling up the North, is that if you're going to level up the North, first of all, you need lots of investment. Second of all, you actually need to nurture the businesses and manufacturers that are there in the North to begin with. And that means that you will need tariffs. You will need, because they need to be protected from, cheap imports or lesser value goods. They need to be have incentives, like cash incentives, to help make stuff cheaper. This whole idea of spending money in the North is at odds, complete odds, because obviously, not only do you have to spend money, you actually have to pass regulation, you have to actually protect stuff, you have to do stuff that keeps jobs in the North. And of course, these two things, these two big ideas currently circulating in the Conservative Party are completely at odds with each other, because neither one can succeed without undermining the other. Predominantly, of course, this all comes back to regulations. And ironically, this was the exact same thing that split the Conservative Party when it came to wanting to leave the EU. Many of the very pro-EU Conservatives were very, very much fine with the regulations being there because they saw the advantages of being in the single market and understood that regulations are important to businesses. And of course, the Brexiteers, or the Eurosceptics, were just against this whole idea before. And of course, as we've touted this idea before of Singapore on the Thames, of making it a low tax, low regulation nation, again, not really what anyone actually voted for. But so which idea would you say currently is winning? Well, at the moment, there haven't been any big clashes, and there is no big clashes yet set on the horizon for this. But predominantly, the levelling up agenda is being used as just a flashy photo opportunity for the Northern MPs to go, oh, look, we did this. But actually, the money was already being built by previous previous government. The money was already there, and this was already being built, and yet it was being deemed as part of the levelling up agenda. Like I say, like I mentioned before, back in the past when we covered that, no new money is actually being put in. This is all money that was going towards these projects anyway. They've just been relabeled to go towards, but to make it look like that this is new money going towards it when it's not. So obviously, when I'm going to jump into this article, and obviously this is going to be very, very upsetting, and of course, not, shall we say, not good for the Brexiteers. So, before we do that, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there is a link to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can, well, buy me a coffee. And there's also, you now get the opportunity to join the coffee club. So, if you want. So, thank you to all those people that do support me that way. So, on with the article. And this comes from the Business Desk. So, the title is Over 450 Jobs at Risk as the Manufacturer Looks to Leave the UK. And this is actually quite serious because this company, Toyoda Gosei, a Japanese company, is not just leaving Rotherham, it is leaving the UK completely. So we'll get into that, and we'll discuss a bit afterwards as well. So, Toyoda Gosei, a specialist car parts manufacturer with operations in Rotherham and Swansea, has announced it is pulling out of the UK. The move by the Japanese headquartered businesses, which supplies the likes of Toyota, Hyundai and Aston Martin, will put 458 jobs at risk, with over 251 in Rotherham at its UK HQ and 207 in Swansea, with reports suggesting that the manufacturing plants would close their doors in 2023, although the business has yet to confirm the details. The decision is said to be in response to changes in, quote, the global automotive sector and a significant reduction in UK customer demand. The process of formal consultation is now believed to be underway following employees being informed of this decision this morning, or that would have been yesterday. Shigeru Miyamatsu, the managing director of Toyoda Gosei UK, said that we understand and regret the uncertainty that this will cause for everyone at Swansea and Rotherham sites, and we are doing all we can to support our employees throughout the consultation process. A spokeswoman for the firm added that it was working with its parent company, Toyoda Gosei, to discuss the future of the UK operation, and noted there isn't just one factory that has resulted in an announcement today. Sarah Champion, the MP for Rotherham, described the news as deeply concerning, noting that it was, quote, a major blow which would affect not only the plant's 251 workers, but the entire local economy. And she is right in that effect. She called for Toyoda Gosei to explore every avenue to support affected workers, and said that if the government was, quote, serious about levelling up our economy, they cannot stand idly by whilst long-established businesses in Rotherham close, cut jobs, reduce investment, or just relocate. So that was that. And how is this connected to Brexit? Because I know there are going to be Brexit supporters going to say, oh, this has got nothing to do with the Brexit. First things first. The Japanese are infamous for not rocking the boat. They do not like to make political statements. They are very, very well known for this. And to say that the UK managing director said that there were, quote, where is it? So, first of all, was the response into changes in the global automotive sector. Well, what's really changed in the global automotive sector? Nothing really, except we've Brexited. We've left the European Union. And as we've said multiple times before, this has put at risk several, if not well-established routes for just-in-time delivery systems. And we warned continuously that this would affect the automotive industry. Not just automotive industry, but places like Toyoda Gosei, which they are not car manufacturers, but they supply the car manufacturing industry. And if people want to say, oh, but we did this trade deal with Japan, why aren't they staying? The Daily Express, Liz Truss, and all the Brexiteers said that this was a fantastic deal and this would keep Japanese businesses here. No, it won't. That deal overwhelmingly favours Japanese exporters, and it only favours us by about 17%. So they don't have to say it because it's already been said. It's Brexit that has really affected their industry. It has essentially quashed anything of the idea that they can now make parts in the UK and sell them into the European market, which is, again, the main premise that was almost the exact reason for many Japanese companies coming here in the 80s. That's now gone. So, I am really deeply sad, and I know a lot of people are going to point and laugh, a lot of these people in Rotherham, because, again, it was a heavily Brexit voting area. But, again, they are not at fault. Remember, it is the Brexiteers who are at fault, and I've always said this, you've got to split them. There are Brexiteers and there are Brexit supporters. And Brexiteers are people like Boris Johnson, Nigel Farage, Katie Hoey, all the mainstream people who advocated and told the big lies about Brexit. And then the Brexiteer supporters are just the average Joe people on the streets who believed the lies that the Brexiteers told them. And as a result, today, unfortunately, 400 people are going to lose their jobs. And there's nothing funny about that. But unfortunately, that is the case. And, I'm sad that this, unfortunately, is happening to all those people. And, I do hope that those people can go and find, good jobs. But especially in Rotherham, I worry. I really do worry for the future of a lot of those people. Because you had Sarah Champion there saying, oh, but the government is going to stand by and do nothing. Of course the government's going to stand by and do nothing because it has no intention of following through with its level up agenda. It was just an attention grabber. Nothing's going to happen for the levelling up agenda. It's pathetic that a lot of people are so believing in this because Boris Johnson said it. Well, just because Boris Johnson said it and is a known habitual liar, again, doesn't make it true. But unfortunately, that is the case. Unfortunately, not very good news for the area in general. And like I say, she did get one thing right. It will affect the local economy massively. Because that's over 200 people now out of work. And the Rotherham economy isn't going to be able to absorb that many people going unemployed, especially in such specialised manufacturing as Toyoda Gosei was. So, as always, thank you for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share and subscribe button. And of course, down below there is my Patreon link as well as the Buy Me a Coffee link as well. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who do support me that way. And as always, see you all next time.